You've been being a weirdo.
Now I'm the weirdo because I sit on the
What do you
stage.
mean now? I mean, you've been the weirdo, but
Facts.
that's okay.
I'm the weird one.
All right, cool.
But
We need to hit record on this
On that joint.
on that mixer. No, thank you. Yeah, yep. Thank you. That's it.
And we live, baby.
Oh, so look at something.
Huh?
What you got over there?
Nah, we
Oh, I
going.
thought we was gonna start with.
Well, when we get there, y'all are anxious.
I'm ready. That wonderful nectar just sitting there.
You say what?
That wonderful nectar just
Would
sitting
you like
there.
to drink, Dre?
It's waiting on us. That's all I'm saying.
God. What's up, girl?
Say coach.
Oh God.
What happened? You get mine?
Yeah, go ahead, grab it.
Malarali. I can't say. I can't get the R to roll.
Oh, we got it. Yep. Kick us off, Keith.
All right, everybody, grab a drink. We about to get this thing started. Let me adjust.
Little niggas adjust.
Pause.
Did you hear? I heard your knee crack. You okay?
My knee did not crack. Don't put me in that
Oh,
box.
hey, you closer to 40 than me.
Say what?
No.
Ooh, you act close. Go to the bar, get you something good. We drinking on that dark right now. Let's see what this does to us. All right? Let's cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to wash. Clink, clink,
Clink, clink, clink.
clink, clink. Now that was all right. That is all right.
And this
Oh,
nigga's
here
trying
we
to
go.
They
bring
bringing
another
more
one.
up here. While we bringing more drinks in, let's get this thing started. This is the Wash Podcast. Everyday guys doing everyday shit. I am the man KP. To my left and my right, a couple of my guys. Once this man Dre sit down, I'm gonna have him introduce himself. What's going on, Dre?
Oh, it's on me?
It's on you, brother.
Well, besides it being Wednesday, and I thought it was Thursday, everything is great. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I appreciate you here. You got a drink coming
Well,
your
take
way.
it right.
See, we got another one. See, this is what's going to get me over into Thursday.
To my left and your right, Jamel, what's going on with you, my guy?
This is the kind of service you get
Appreciate
when you
you,
come
Norm.
when you come to Spangalang. I just want to say shout out to Spangalang for having us again. We got these cool jams in front of us, which is a new seltzer they are promoting. So shout out to Spangalang and their cool jams. Other than that, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me up here.
And that cool jam is good. I done knocked about 3 of those back, and they are delicious.
And I appreciate they chose the red.
The red.
The red.
I'm going to have Norm come back and try to explain what this is, because this ain't nothing normal that I've ever had. Before Norm comes back, Cutter, what's going on with you, man?
Why I gotta be red? I couldn't be another color.
What color would you have liked the seltzer to be?
Blue.
Don't say it under your breath. Be proud of that blue
nigga.
color.
Blue. I'm good, nigga. I'm high. I'm high, so I'm good.
What else is new?
Shit, nothing.
Well, I'm gonna start using your own slogan when I see you. Are you high yet? And every time I want you to be like, nigga, you know I'm
Pretty
high.
much.
How often are you not high?
When I work.
10 hours a day.
Work?
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
That's bad?
I ain't say it was bad. That's your shit.
Are you a wake and bake type of person?
Nah.
Explain that to me, because like, so I am a drinker, and so like I be fighting with people at the job. Be like, how come they get to go outside and smoke, but I can't go in the back and take a shot real quick?
I mean, I'm on a smoke, but I'm not about to be anxious like that.
Because don't cigarettes get you high? Don't it give you like a buzz or something like that?
I don't know about a cigarette.
I don't know if
nigga,
anybody
but-
smokes cigarettes. Like, don't it give you like some kind of like euphoria
A
or some
buzz.
weird shit? Yeah. So if
Euphoria.
you get 15 minutes zone out.
My shit ain't 15 minutes, nigga. Fuck you,
You gotta give it some
nigga.
time.
Be high the whole day.
Nah. I could just be high, but it ain't gonna be 15 minutes. This ain't no Mamba, nigga.
If I can go about, I'll say at noon, maybe go have me a margarita or something, I'd probably be a way better worker. Like
You
10
think so?
times. Oh yeah.
Being drunk?
I won't be drunk.
A baby buzz?
What, you
wouldn't
said
even be-
drinker, not a drunk. There's a difference, right? You're a drinker. You're not. Are you a drunk or are you a drinker?
I'm a drinker because
Because drinking will get you drunk.
drunks go to meetings. I ain't been to one meeting.
Alcoholics go to meetings.
What's the difference?
Drunks are in denial that they're alcoholics.
So what makes you an alcoholic?
They go to meetings.
You said what?
They go to meetings.
I ain't been there.
I'm not going to a meeting. I enjoy a drink here and there, maybe more than others.
Define here and there.
Today and tomorrow,
Today, tomorrow, yesterday, and the day before.
in the morning and afternoon.
Have y'all noticed?
Well, I got a question about that.
What?
If you drink every day, does that make you a good role model?
It depends on what we're talking about.
If we can
Exactly.
function,
A functioning alcoholic is a good role model.
What's a functioning alcoholic?
Somebody who can function as they're drinking alcohol.
A nigga know you drunk. Can fuck what you think you thought you was doing.
Have you ever noticed I was drunk, Gutter?
Yes.
You saw me because I slept one night. But you?
No?
What?
You really want to talk about it?
What?
uh-oh.
When you was drunk in Atlanta?
Oh,
Yeah, that's that's the shit I
that
was
was
thinking
different.
about.
No, the fuck it wasn't.
That was different.
You fucked the whole night up.
I had a
Whole
good time.
night.
Oh, just because one night you was actually
I
trying
was
to have
having
fun.
and you fucked it up.
You actually woke up one night because you saw some ass.
It must have happened.
But that wasn't the only time that you was drunk.
What?
Remember that one time you threw up in the basement?
I didn't
wow,
throw up.
wow, wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
And she's
She
ready
was
to
there.
verify.
She was there. I know she was there, but I went to the
Hey,
bathroom.
we've all been there. Why are you trying to bring up old shit?
I went
You
to the
wrote in
bathroom.
front of everybody?
There wasn't nobody there. It wasn't nothing like that.
No.
We were all just
no,
chilling.
No, nigga.
We've all been there.
Did you earl in front of people or you went to the bathroom?
Both.
So you're a good role model because of what?
Because he turned in his TPS reports on time.
On time, every time.
So
Regardless
if you
was
were
or not.
drunk, but you turn your shit out on time, theoretically you could be a good role model.
Because I take care of my shit when I'm drinking.
That's the question.
I mean, if you're taking care of business, that's why I feel like, in regards to alcohol, we can get off this in a real quick. But like in regards to alcohol, I don't agree with excessive drinking. But if you're doing what you need to take care of, then is it a bad thing?
If you can take care of your responsibilities, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Functional,
functional
functional
addict?
addict.
Right.
So for the people who
You
can't
just
hear,
want to do
she's-
whatever, huh?
we had an audience member that was saying if you're a functional addict, meaning you can get your shit done, regardless of the vice. If it doesn't matter if it's alcohol or crack cocaine, as long as you are functional.
I don't think that's
Since
gonna
it's
work.
on me,
Cocaine?
I feel like what the jig is like, if you're doing something and functioning, that's one. But if you're doing something, an addict, some kind of substance or something like that,
Intoxicated.
and it's like deteriorating your health and like just everyday lifestyle, then it becomes a problem.
Well, one could argue even just a drink every now and
So
again.
you don't
is
think that
deteriorating your
since
health.
you did what you were supposed to do the whole day, you not worthy of a drink?
Of course, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a problem. I think when alcohol becomes a problem in your life, that's a thing,
But
and
you-
that's across the board. Like food, for example.
But you want to drink
can
while
eat
you
too
work.
much.
That's not a problem?
That's a joke. I'm just
I don't know, nigga.
being
That's what
literal
you
all the
said,
time.
Nigga, I'm asking.
Golly, I can't be in the office with a whole bottle of scotch in my
with you,
drawer.
but you can walk in there like,
Although some do.
hey.
Some do.
Some do. I ain't gonna hold you.
What
If I worked, if
With
I
a
worked in
slur?
sales,
Talking to somebody with a slur, you like,
And see, that's doing too much. No, I'm not talking about that.
if I worked in sales, I would not frown on people having a little drink during the day. That's
Loosen
a
'em up
stressful
a
ass job.
why? You're drunk talking to me?
You ain't
See,
gotta
you
be
keep-
drunk.
you
You
ain't
need to
got
have
the
something to
great-
take the
you
edge
ain't
off.
got
Why
customer
it's always
service.
like A or B with you? You ain't gotta be.
Drunk talking
No,
to
we
me.
ain't talking about being drunk. We just
I'm
talking about
sober
like
than
having
the
a little
motherfucker
thing.
and you talking about some business.
Would it make difference if you were intoxicated?
I make the sale?
And if I was high,
No, yeah.
I might be high, but that drunk and high
No.
is two
My
different
question
things.
is if
Nah, fuck that.
Well, my question is if you were talking to somebody who was trying to sell you something, they were intoxicated, and you were high at the same time, would that make you feel better about them being intoxicated?
No. I'm not about to act, my nigga, you high?
Hold up, cut. Go ahead.
No. What
Nah,
the
I'm
fuck that
drunk.
look like?
Your comparison at first was alcohol versus cigarettes. Cigarettes, you can smoke a whole pack and still function because it's an anxiety relief,
Uh-huh.
nicotine, and it suppresses it's a feel-good thing, right?
Right.
Alcohol does the same thing, but if you have,
too many.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, for the folks who can't hear, the comparison was alcohol and cigarettes. They both have a functional
High. It gets you.
high.
Yeah.
But if you have 10 drinks as opposed to 10 cigarettes,
Right.
the result is different.
And to that, I said,
We all
I
gonna
just
die.
wanted a quick little shot. Come on back in, and I'm good.
Something to level you off.
Just something get level. And then what they said,
Take the
then
edge
just
off.
Leveling
take
you
the edge
off.
off.
Take the edge off.
Pause. I got it, nigga. Hold on, nigga. I got it, nigga. I ain't say no homo.
So what
Pause.
Jamel was trying to get at? Go ahead.
Then you rounded it back to being a good role model, right?
Right.
So is smoking cigarettes considered a good role model? Are we talking about adolescents?
That's literally what we about to get into right
Yeah.
now.
Go ahead. Break down what she said. You go ahead and start us
So
off.
again, the question was, who are we being a role model to, right? If you are at work and you are being a role model to somebody who is also working at your job, is that different than being a role model to an adolescent, right? And then I'll let KP go ahead and kick it off, but we can get into that conversation.
So the moral of everything is we joking around, but the jig is role models. There's good role models, there's bad role models. So we're trying to figure out the difference between the two. And I believe we got a few parents in the audience and parents up here on the panel saying, like, what do you feel is a good role model? One of the things I put out in the social media world is, would you trust your kid to be your kid's role model to be a specific person? And I believe Jamel gave an example of Chris Brown and Kanye, and we know what these cats is known for. So it's like if your kid came back, Mom, Dad, I love Kanye, and would you shut it down, or you'd be like, why do you love Kanye? You know what I mean? Go ahead, Cutter.
But my kid's not gonna know the outside Kanye. They're gonna know the mainstream Kanye.
And so that's kind of what we're getting at. As a parent, you know. But some of the shit they
Eventually,
don't.
the older you get, you're gonna figure out who a motherfucker
Of course,
is.
but as your kids coming in the house was like, I like this person.
No, I'm not hating.
Yeah. And it's a teaching moment. So I'll start off with one of the examples that I had and was given to me. I had someone reach out to me about role models, and the picture that I sent out was, help me if I'm saying it wrong, is it Sha'Carri?
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sha'Carri Richardson and Simone Biles.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and it was like, they both
What
had...
the fuck are you doing?
This man Norm trying to kill us.
All right, this is the Thunderbolt.
Somebody
Once
need
again,
a
we
drink.
hear at
We here at
Spangalang.
Spangalang. So we gonna start with
This
this
is a lot of drinks. Hold on, we got to catch up.
Shit right here y'all doing, man. This is
Y'all trying to make a nigga go to the restroom and I can't go off and come back and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Put
Get
that
your
back.
kids. And we're on that first?
We
Once
got
again,
two more
shout
coming
out
up.
to Spangalang. The drink in my hand is a Thunderbolt.
Hold on.
The thing about a Thunderbolt, it is a Mexican lager mixed with reposado.
yes, sir. So there's a reposado shot,
Reposado shot.
along with our Rujas Rebellion. You gotta, when you tilt it back, you gotta let it click.
When you tilt it back, you got to let it click.
And then what's gonna happen is the
Pause.
tequila that's in the
To kill you?
Man, you ain't said nothing. My Mexican homies drink this all the time.
tequila in the cup is gonna start mixing, and the shooter's gonna mix with the glass.
The tequila in the glass is going. The tequila in the shooter is going to mix with the beer in the glass.
Yeah.
So do you want me to pull it or just pop it?
Man, let's just drink.
Tilt it back.
Once again,
Once
shout
again.
out to Spangalang. Thank you for being a great host.
Right on,
Shout
Norm.
out to Spangalang. This is a Thunderbolt. Let's see what we got.
Come down to Spangalang, order a Thunderbolt, and specifically ask for Norm when you do it.
Y'all some weenies, cuz. Oh my God. Who, them or me? I bet my shit been clicked, nigga.
I ain't gonna hold you. That ain't bad.
I normally don't drink during the week.
I ain't gonna hold you. That ain't bad.
What was that?
That's not bad at all.
That's not
I'm
bad.
I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna go ahead and finish.
Are we a role model?
So back
As
to
we
the
talk
conversation about role models.
Yeah, don't imitate that one.
Yes,
Don't
drink.
imitate that one.
All right, let's get back into
I
it.
didn't know.
We appreciate you, Norm. Let's get back into it. So, I was using the example of Simone Biles and
Sha'Carri.
Richardson.
It might be Shakara. I don't know.
Shakira.
Sha'Carri.
That nigga making up names and shit.
So you have two different avenues. You know what Shakira is known for?
Yeah.
She got caught for smoking weed and she got kicked out the Olympics. And I said that wrong?
No, you good.
Nah.
She got
fucked up
caught for
too.
smoking weed and got kicked out the Olympics. Simone Biles basically walked away from the Olympics because of mental health.
Yeah.
Those are their controversies, I guess you can call it. So if you have a young girl trying to become a gymnast and she sees this, and Sha'Carri is the number one in the world right now, and she's killing it, but she has that blemish. So how it was explained to me is either direction. It's about explaining to your child, hey, I get why you like this person, but understand the direction that you're getting from this person. They put a blueprint out there, but you need to look at that blueprint and see this is what I need to follow.
If I can.
Go ahead.
What I had post on my IG, _Jamel, check me out, was that I think there's a difference between a role model and an example, right? So I think we look at Sha'Carri, I'm saying this shit wrong now, Sha'Carri Richardson and Simone Biles or whomever, and we say, hey, this is an example of somebody that you can be like if you want to be a sprinter, right? Or this is an example of somebody who you can be like if you want to be a gymnast. I think an example is different from a role model. A role model to me is all encompassing, right?
And so when you put it out there, one thing that I wanted to bring up was the definition of a role model, someone you are into, someone you what's the word I want to use? Inspired by. That's the word I want.
Right.
Inspired by. There's a difference between that. So for me,
I don't like the
get
example part though.
What's that?
The example.
Give us what do you mean?
Because you could be a bad example and a good example though.
Of course, but that's what.
But the example is that's just an example of who you can be. So it's not really saying that's a role model.
And I talked about this on my IG as well. There's negative examples, right? And my example of an example was that the shared black experience, right? Everybody's got a crackhead uncle. Everybody's got a crackhead auntie. Everybody got a grandma or somebody else that was strung out, especially if you
How
grew
you
up.
know?
But if you're an 80s baby and you grew up in the 90s, you got a crackhead uncle or somebody to that extent, right?
That's fucked up, man.
It's
I
fucked
don't-
up, but it's true.
Came from a bad
my point there
environment.
being though that if you have an example, a negative example, a non-example, if you will, that's like, hey, I don't want to be like him when I grow up. That's an example, as opposed to a role model who is just like, yo, this whole entire role is what I'm trying to model myself
Okay,
after.
so here goes my example. Driving down Colfax, and you see a bum or something, and you're with your kid, and I'd be like, you gonna be like that?
I don't
That's
see
an
that.
example.
That's an
Bad example.
Right.
Like, so there's
But if you're,
a
but
role model is not that can't be in the same.
they're
two.
the opposites. It's not
Yeah.
opposites, but they are.
That can't be the nigga, because that nigga over there on the corner can. And then when you see somebody on some drug, like you said, drugs,
Right.
And they be. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I tell my kids, nigga, look, would you want to be doing that type of shit right there?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So do you only use negative examples?
Hold up.
No,
Hold up. Go ahead.
So do you go through the transparency of your example? Because if you're going down Colfax and you see a bum on the side, you don't know the full story of the bum to know if there's mental health issues, veterans, there's other issues that could be involved. To sit there and explain to your child why those situations happen. Instead of being, do you want to be like that?
Teaching moments.
So the conversation is, do you go through the whole conversation of that example? If it is a unhoused, I'm not going to use another word. If it is somebody who is unhoused or something like that, do you say, hey, this person is unhoused, they are experiencing homelessness? Are you going to explain that as opposed to a role model? And correct me if I'm wrong here. A role model is somebody who you see plastered everywhere.
No.
That is.
So it's
No.
not. You can't be your kid's role model.
Yes.
You're not
Can,
plastered
we'll get,
everywhere.
hold up, Carter. We'll get there. Go ahead, Dre.
A role model is someone you look to that you're looking at them. It could be inspiration or just whatever they do. you want to imitate whatever they do, right? And where we fuck up as a society is we just look at the positive shit.
Right.
Right? So when you were talking about Simone Biles and Sha'Carri Richardson, what makes them great role models is we know where they fell short. And where, I forgot who it was, Jay or Cutter, talking about a role model is all encompassing. That's what the conversation should be. We should look at the flaws and all and say, yo, imitate that, because nobody's gonna be perfect. I hope my kids look up to me, because God knows I am not perfect. I fucked up many a time. But I still think I can serve as a good example, a positive example, be a positive role model. And we know as we grow older, we see our parents, as we're at the age our parents were,
Right.
we know they weren't
On
perfect.
that smoking crack and shit.
But some can still serve as good role models. So you have to take both the good and the bad and say you still want to imitate that, because nobody's perfect. Nobody's flawless.
So I think Cutter was trying to get into it, and Drake touched on it. As parents, I think we all expect our kids to be. We expect to be our kids' role models. Yes or no?
No,
Most of us.
Most of us.
no.
Well, except slap
Okay,
dicks, but yeah,
you just
I
said
do.
you want to be a role model, but
I don't
just
expect it.
I just drank a beer in front of this little nigga, and this nigga's looking at me like I can't wait to get older, nigga, to drink a beer with my
beer.
dad.
Because there's
It's
nothing
not-
bad
but-
about
but-
drinking a beer,
but what's
right?
wrong with my son? I mean, he's young now,
Yeah.
but as he gets older, he's gonna be like, if that's what he sees, damn, I can't wait to drink a beer with my dad.
Yo.
You think about that.
My first
Ain't
taste.
no pause in that.
Cutter.
Oh, my
Cutter.
bad. I thought it was
Cutter. My first drink of beer was when I was 5 or 6.
with your dad.
Yes, I didn't touch beer again until I was 24.
So he did what he's
Because
supposed to
that
do.
shit was disgusting.
Nerd.
That's that normal shit. That's what
Shit, I'd
parents
have kept
here.
going,
If you
my
want it,
nigga.
Hey.
go on and get that
No,
shit
my
off.
pop said, go ahead, drink it. I was like, oh shit, never again.
But but that's what I'm saying. You're 5.
Yeah.
So you're looking at him like he's drinking.
I
like-
want to do what my pop does,
but-
right?
Okay, so are you telling your kid that it's something he shouldn't drink, or this is
No,
juice?
my pop introduced me like this is grown shit. So you think it's gonna be Kool-Aid? I took a shit. That shit is not Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but
I didn't touch
you
beer
don't
again
know
until
what
college.
he meant by "Do you think it's Kool-Aid"?
So
No,
before
I-
y'all
he
start,
didn't have to.
Before
He
y'all
let me-
start to
he
go,
let me know.
Before y'all start
He let
going
me
back
find
and
out.
forth, I think the thing with a role model, I think you're looking at them as if, hey, I want to be that. What y'all are talking about is parenting.
No. We're talking about it because role model is something you want to imitate.
We're talking about parenting.
Yeah,
telling
but-
them right from wrong and things like that.
No,
But
it's
I-
not. No, it's not where we're going.
but you're
'Cause
still trying to be a
hold on.
role model
Cutter,
if
hold
I'm
on, hold on.
parenting my
No,
own
Cutter,
kid.
hold on. Because, like I said before, a role model, I think literally the definition is someone you want to imitate.
Yes.
So yes, if I see my pop drinking a beer, I want to imitate that. He's like, all right, go ahead and imitate it.
Yes, but as a parent, you would be like, hey, this is adult shit and things like that.
But what's wrong? Okay, so we're talking about imitating. What's
question
wrong
ready.
with the beer?
Go ahead.
Especially after we've been drinking.
Go ahead.
So your first role model is your parents, good or bad.
So,
Imitate isn't based on all positive. So if I come home from school every day and I see my dad pull out his bottle of liquor and sit
Right.
and drink every night, I'm gonna think that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Especially if there's no conversation around it.
I think you hit on a very important point. There
break it down again, what she said.
Sorry, yeah. So the conversation is your very first role model is your parent, good or bad. Now, the point that I think that she hit on is very important is that it's the good or bad aspect of it, right? So if you come home and you see your parent drinking a bottle of Jack to the face every night, you're not gonna know theoretically as a child if that's good or bad.
I'm
Okay,
bad,
okay,
yeah.
so why should the kid know what that is you're doing?
And so
Are you
I
supposed
think-
to just let
Wait.
him know?
Real quick,
But or you just have the whole bottle, nigga, and you're just
and my argument there is that you don't necessarily know that the bottle is whatever the bottle is.
I could have
you
my-
just see
that's
Hold-
Kool-Aid.
Hold on, real quick. You don't necessarily know what the bottle is. You just know how your parent acts after they have interacted with said bottle, right? So if you see
fucked up.
that your parent is drunk as fuck at 3:00 in the afternoon, and that's what they do, and then you know how you feel after you see your parent hit that bottle. I don't necessarily say it's a role model, but again, it goes back to the example.
How does a kid know you're drunk?
Go ahead.
That's
We're gonna come
where
back to
you-
that.
They may not know at the point in time in which you were doing it, but as they get older, then they figure it out as an Then it's the same thing. Like, say you don't want to tell your kid because you don't think they'll understand, but you don't.
But they already
tell
know.
your kid why you're grabbing their hand to walk the street.
Yeah, they already know. They already know.
They already know, or you're telling them there's a card you have to look both ways. So why aren't you doing the same thing?
Why?
Anything.
To understand the conversation we're having is, do you need to explain, or why don't you explain what it is that is going on in the house?
Explanation needs to be age appropriate.
Explanations need to be age appropriate. With along those lines, kinda. I got a question I want to pose to you guys, but I think KP wanted to interject.
Go ahead.
Remember that question. You don't smoke weed, so you good.
My question is, so I am a big Oakland, Los Angeles, Las Vegas Raiders fan,
Trash.
right?
We did all of the
All right, look,
cities,
hey,
okay.
look, I'm just gonna
You went
say,
all three?
All of the
look, hey,
cities.
look, the Denver Broncos have never beat the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Denver
Get your shit
Broncos
up.
have
Get your
always
shit
been the
up.
Denver
Get your shit-
Broncos.
Get your
With
shit
that
up.
being-
Last time you won a Super Bowl,
With
my
that
nigga.
being said, Hunter Renfro is a wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. Great wide receiver.
No one cares. Get to the point.
My point is,
Got him.
I would never buy my son a Hunter Renfro jersey.
And so I'm
Is it
glad
reverse
you said
racism?
that. I'm glad you said that. Hold up, before
That's
y'all
where I was
start
getting
doing
with
that.
this.
Y'all
My question to y'all.
are intertwining. Y'all are intertwining parenting and role models.
No. That's a role model.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
My question to the group and to everybody listening: can a role model
Fucker.
for your child be somebody of a different race?
So
the fuck?
let's roll it back. Role models.
My
so
son will
you,
never wear a Hunter Renfro jersey.
you're on.
'Cause
That's
he's-
parenting and role models.
You don't get to decide who your kid's role model is.
So what we heard in the audience. Hold up. What we heard in the audience is,
I'm not gonna buy him a Hunter Renfro jersey.
yeah.
He can still find another white man to look up to.
So what they were saying in the audience is, you can't choose who your role model is. You can't force your opinions on your child.
which is a 1,000,000% fair.
So he can have a John Moran jersey?
No.
Because no, I told my daughter straight up when I was like, baby girl, you can't even have those type of shoes. And she was like, really?
So let me push back on that.
So
So,
that's-
you and Jamel.
Yeah.
I want to talk about both of y'all because you don't want. Let's be honest. You don't want your son wearing a white man's jersey.
Yep.
Cutter, you don't want it because John Morant, what he's known for, the guns and stuff.
No,
like
it's not what he's known for. What have you, the bad shit? Don't nobody want to talk about the bad shit.
That's what I'm saying. That his shit is the guns and shit. He don't know how to put his guns away. His bullshit ass pistols and shit. that
He out there with a little 380 trying to
pea shooter.
trying to show out for no goddamn reason. It was a lighter. Thank you. It was a lighter.
Allegedly.
Stop shooting that
And
little
so
shit.
Allegedly.
that's a good way to segue.
If you know, you know.
We
Stop
have a
shooting
lot
that
of
little
people that
shit.
we all look up to that we think is dope and things like that. One of my, I don't know, I want to call him, he's not a role model, but someone I hold in high regards is Jay-Z. And Jay-Z's known for selling drugs.
Is that because you from Brooklyn?
Jay-Z's known for selling drugs and things like that. And so I never looked at Jay as like, I want to sell drugs. I looked at Jay as like, I want to be successful. I want to come from a poverty to a billionaire.
I disagree. I think when you were 21, you wanted to sell
I
drugs.
never wanted to sell drugs.
You're a liar.
I want to
Cuz
sell
can't
drugs
sell
today.
no drugs.
Huh?
Him selling drugs.
You can't. You also
Do-
can't
do
still
you-
sell
do-
drugs
do you
at
need a
21
receipt?
years old.
He wants to be a role model.
Here's-
not
here's
a
your
drug dealer,
cocaine.
my
Do you
nigga.
need a receipt?
Know that right now. He wants
Here's
to be
my
a role
email
model.
address if you have any problems.
But that's why that's why Hove is a role model.
Yeah.
Because you have to take the whole shit, right?
You have to, yes.
You can't just look at the positive. You have to look at the whole shit. What he came from. So you do want whoever is looking up to Jay-Z to imitate that behavior. It wasn't
Right.
the negative shit. It was basically all the positive.
It was the
all the
positive.
work ethic and making smart decisions and
He
all
said
that
it
shit.
in his
That's what you
rhymes.
want them to do.
Hove did
sorry,
that
I'm
so
sorry.
that you don't have to go through that.
I'm sorry, real quick, Drake, for the audience. Somebody asked, can you define what a role model is? Drake.
Google can. No, I think a role model is someone you it doesn't have to be look up to, but someone you identify whose behavior
Right.
you want to imitate.
No, don't use imitate.
You want to follow. You want to model their behavior. You want to model their actions. role model.
Exactly, and I feel like
So that
someone
means doing
of
everything specifically that they do. Everything.
Not everything.
Obviously, I want to be like
so
this
hold
person.
on, pause. Hold on. So I googled it. So
No.
one of the first definitions of a role model that comes up is a person looked to as others as someone an example to be. A person that someone looks at as an example, and I think the key word there is an example. To
Yeah.
Fuck that example shit. We already
that
said that.
Hey, fuck your definition.
That example shit don't
Go
work.
ahead. We got a statement. Wait, hold on, real quick. We got a statement or a question, and then we'll come back to the race.
Because he's racist.
Go back to the drugs.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Yep.
Who? Oh, cuz.
My man.
what?
It's my man.
Like you, my nigga.
Ain't nobody
Like,
pointing.
you got
It's-
it.
Look,
It will always be my
Brooklyn
man's.
niggas.
It's always my man's.
Hey, what he sell? Be what?
Don't point shit.
BC powder,
He just pouring that shit, nigga.
Yo.
Advil.
Hey, allegedly.
That nigga from New York.
Look,
Allegedly.
up here selling Metamucil and shit.
I got NyQuil coming out the pocket.
Hey, look. Fresh off over the counter shit.
Good job.
The other
Good
question,
job,
the other
KP.
question, and we're gonna come to you. The other question or the other statement was why did race come into it? For me, and I'll answer this personally. For me, the way I grew up, all of my role models, all of my examples look like me. And to KP's point, and to another viewer or attendee's point, that I don't know if I can say their name or not, but another attendee's point is that you can't choose who your offspring's role models are.
Right.
Which is fine. I completely agree with that. But if I am the person in the house that is paying the bills, the person in the house that is trying to set the standard in the way that I grew up, is that these are the people that you look up to. These are the people who understand your struggle. And I would be damned, or not even my dad would be damned if I showed up in the house with his Kenny Stabler jersey on.
Okay, but how long are
He's
you
a
in
Hall
the
of
house
Famer.
with that kid?
He's a Hall of Famer.
Hold on. How
Kenny-
long?
the snake is the guy,
How
but
long-
I ain't showing up
The
with his
snake
jersey.
is
on.
the
I'll tell you
guy.
that
One at a
shit
time.
right
We can't
now.
hear everybody at once. One at a
How
time.
long are you interacting with your kid on a day-to-day basis, or how long is that kid on something on their phone interacting? Longer than they're with you.
Okay.
So getting to know you is different. I get to see this person like every 2 seconds. I want to be this person. Yeah, my dad provides, but I want to be this person.
Which is
You
fair. and I
can't be
think-
mad at the color.
You can't be
Fuck
mad.
my
And
dad.
I think everybody has their is a
Hold
point.
on. Dude, is that how you really feel?
Say, what's the question?
No,
I'm
not
sorry.
you, nigga.
No, I'm saying him. I'm saying
He said, "Fuck his dad, nigga." I don't want to know.
Well, not my dad. That's
wait,
what.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. How did we get here?
My dad
I heard
is
that.
one of my. I know that's just corny, but my pop is one of my.
Is
role
one of my
models.
idols.
Well, let's stop right there. Are your parents your role model?
Yes, mine.
KP.
I can speak for everybody.
So for me, my would be our next topic about will it be a role model if it's male or female?
No. Real quick. Is your parent your role model?
No, my mother is not my role model.
Well, I disagree with your statement. You can't say who's your kid's role model is. I think you can until a point where
A certain age.
where they start to spread their wings and and leave the nest a little bit. But you are heavily influential on who they see, who they listen to.
Right.
So you can, until a certain point, dictate who their role models are.
No, you can't.
I would say yes. My dad is my role model. Who were your parents? Are
I
they
don't
your
got no
role model?
fucking role model, nigga. Get out of here, nigga.
So we laughing, but I think I lean towards what Cutter just said. I don't have a specific role model per se.
Oh, first things first. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Rest
So-
in peace, Uncle Phil.
Okay, so the nigga on TV is my role model?
Hey, and Uncle Phil was black.
It was J. Cole's.
I don't give a fuck what color he is.
Yes, you do.
I think the jig was what we're trying to get at. Is it doesn't have to be your parent. I think me and Cutter come from the same area where our parents. I love my mom, and my mom did everything she could for me. But my mom did what she did as my mom. As far as me living my life, my influences came from like my coaches, TV, music, like men in my lifestyle one of my audience's pops, like stuff like that, who showed me, hey, these are the things you should be doing on the field, off the field. Treat me to become a man, things like that. Go ahead.
But we can also take the powerfulness of what our parents did not do that we think is positive.
There you go.
Turn that into like an anti-role model, something we don't want to be for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
An example.
An example.
Negative, but we towards positive. How do we break those generational cycles?
Right.
Like the crackhead uncle you don't want to be.
And
But I bet you that crackhead uncle did something way better.
So
hold on.
hold on.
No.
Hold on. Let me make sure everybody understood what she was saying. She was saying we need to make sure that yes, we don't need our parent to be our role model, but they can lead us in direction to show us what we do want and what we don't want. And I think that's exactly what you was trying to get to, right?
E, what was you gonna
Go
say?
ahead.
Nigga, that crackhead uncle, auntie, or somebody.
Yeah.
They was somebody before they hit that pipe.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
Of course, but did the pipe fuck your life, or did you let the pipe fuck your life?
And that's where the learning comes from. And
We
I
on
think-
drugs.
And I want to say that's kind of where you was getting at. Is just like there are certain things that we might do that might be dumb. We were joking about alcohol and things like that. So if I'm walking around drinking around,
Bro, I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump in. There's a difference.
Oh, this nigga could always.
But
skip
I'm
in,
saying
huh?
like,
This
dog,
nigga don't give a fuck.
there's a difference between making a bad decision and being on a fucking crack pipe, bro. Like there's a difference
Yes.
between.
Nigga,
Yes.
if being an alcoholic nigga is the same thing, nigga, as being a crack addict, what is the difference?
I mean, they are both bad decisions.
It's an addict, nigga. I have to have the pipe or I have to have the bottle.
Bro, I ate
There's no difference.
I ate.
I'm gonna die either way.
I ate Thai food tonight and I had a stomach
gosh,
ache,
cuz.
or I went out and smoked crack. There's a difference between a bad decision.
But do you eat that
and
shit every day? I need that pipe every fucking day.
Pause.
No homo.
I don't even want to do this no more.
Hey yo!
So we gotta talk about.
Wait, hey,
said
he
that with his
emphasized the fuck out of that.
Pause, no homo, whatever you gotta call it.
Passion.
That's what we on.
We call that
Oh,
passion.
graffiti, when you get that shit, nigga, just like.
Hey, make sure
There are different
I was gonna say
There are
edit it out, but this shit is live.
They are extremes. There really are extremes. I think it's about making a
Yeah.
point
Shut the fuck up.
that
Y'all doing too
either
much.
way, when you make a bad decision, yes, you can make a very bad decision or you can make a little smaller decision. At the end of the day, if your kid sees you making that decision, they don't know if it's good or bad. They're just gonna follow it. That's all.
Are they consistent bad decisions?
That could be it too. Go ahead.
That goes back to Jay-Z, who sold drugs.
Yes.
I sold coke and weed in high school.
Who did?
Allegedly.
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 Allegedly. The
Don't-
feds
don't
is
put her on
listening.
camera,
Allegedly.
please.
Stop volunteering shit.
I sold coke and weed.
Allegedly.
4.3 GPA. I was a star athlete. Went to college. Which one you gonna pick to follow, right?
So
All of
again,
them.
again,
There's also recovery. Jay-Z recovered from his life.
So pause 1 second, 1 second. So she's saying she smoked, she sold crack and cocaine,
We gonna
and all
follow
these
it up.
things, and she had a 4.0, ran track that ran a 9.9 at age 7, and then what else?
Those are lyrics to a poem
had-
she's writing.
I am tired for you. That was a hell of a senior year.
Hella.
Shit.
You had to be.
How you
no,
run
she
a-
wasn't tired.
So
How you run the
Reason sold
fastest
the
100 in the
Wait,
state?
hold on. To
and
recap for
swing
everybody
on
who
the side.
to recap for everybody who can't hear. One of our audience members has said that they allegedly did some illicit activities, but they also were able to go to school, get everything they needed to do, had a 4.2, so on and so forth.
She's at 3.
One, I commend you for doing that because
Shit.
shit. Two, what the question is, how do you decide what part of the role model do you get to follow? And my response would be, as a role model, you don't get to choose. And to Cutter's point, like, hey, if your daughter is just like, hey, I really love Ja Morant, it's the whole thing.
The
You
role mo-
have to be okay with the whole thing.
No.
So if your son comes home and says, hey, I really want to be like Kanye, you're like, yo, yeah, you did My Twisted Dark Fantasy, and you still wearing red caps.
Now let me finish. But then there's the transparency. I work in a recovery high school for adolescents. I tell them what I did wasn't the right path, but it's what I did.
So
And I
the
tell them there's a path you can take. You can take this. I could have got caught up. I could have been in prison. I could have went the wrong way. I did it.
the
But at the same time, now I'm on this path, and now I'm trying to help somebody else who doesn't have to go down that path, who doesn't have to go to jail, who doesn't
The conversation.
hold on,
I'm just gonna
Jay.
clear it up. I'm just gonna clear it. The conversation for those who can't hear, is that you have to be able to have the conversation and the clarity about, hey, this is the path that I went down, and this is a way that you can go, or this is a way that you can go left or you can go right. But here are your options.
But what if you're not their role model?
Hold on, Cutter. So what we're talking about is basically that person's story needs to be on a high note.
Right.
Right. So we want to praise someone who has adversities, going through some shit, and gets through it. If we look at, we're talking about a role model, right? If we look at someone when they're down and out, someone on the street, right? Someone's in the midst of doing illicit activity,
Allegedly.
right? We don't want them to emulate that. But if they come out on a positive note or doing some good shit and they're out of that, then it's like, yo, look at what they had to go through. You want to emulate their resiliency, their work ethic, just their overall attitude. You want to emulate the positive shit, and then you do encompass all the negative shit they went through. But you don't want to see someone when they're on the down. You don't want to be telling someone else to follow them on the down.
Okay,
We
no.
be the biggest dope dealer in Denver. I'm not following somebody who's on the up and up, right?
That's what I'm saying.
It's your
So you're not my role model, nigga, just because you told me some. You ever talk to a kid, maybe like, they just look at you and be like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you saying, nigga. I seen this nigga do this. And he's not playing football. He's not playing basketball. He's out here really getting some money. So that's who I want to be like. Right. Yeah, you can, or I want to be a gang member or whatever. But this is what I see. So every time you say something to me, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
So
Real
getting
quick.
to a kid is
Oh,
hard.
but you're talking about the successful motherfuckers. Not everybody in dealing shit is successful.
It doesn't
and on
matter
the up.
about being
Hold on,
successful.
fellas. Hold on, fellas. Let's hear
Go
from the
ahead.
audience.
Go ahead.
You don't get to decide what part of your story somebody else picks up.
You don't get to decide what part of your story somebody else picks up.
So like her story is her story, and she has it's a multifaceted story, but none of us get to decide what kid picks up what part of that story.
Right.
If they want to pick up the drug dealing part, that's the part they're going to pick up. If they want to pick up the 4.3 GPA running track, they're going to pick that shit up. If they want to pick up the recovery piece, that's what they're going to pick up. We don't decide what people pick up in our stories.
No.
When you talk about what
For those of you who can't hear the conversation, sorry, I'm cutting you off, but I just
Where's
want to make
the
sure
mic at? We ain't got an extra one?
I just want to make sure everybody's catching up. What our audience member is saying is that you don't get to decide what somebody subscribes to, right? If of that story. So if somebody does have a 4.2 GPA, that could speak to somebody. If somebody was the drug dealer, the biggest drug dealer in Denver, that speaks to somebody else.
Right.
Somebody works in recovery and helps people out and is a counselor and everything else, that could speak to somebody else. The person that you are trying to influence ultimately gets to decide what they are influenced by. The person who is trying to do the influencing doesn't get to make that decision.
Go ahead, Joe.
No,
I'm about to be a bad role model.
I think you had the assumption when I'm talking about on the down, like someone who's dealing with some shit can't be on the down. Not everyone who's dealing with shit is on the up, right? So I get what you're talking about. Like if someone who's doing some legal shit or illegal shit, if they're both on the up, someone might take that as that's someone they want to emulate, right? So the biggest fucking drug dealer in Denver, there is the lowest drug dealer in Denver, and nobody wants to emulate that shit. So I mean, yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like there's people on the low. So ultimately, I'm saying is, right, you can't. I shouldn't say you. Adolescents, young kids who are impressionable, right? There's only so much parents can do, and we want to lead them to the right path, and have them emulate someone on a. I guess on a legal means, a legal note, right? That's what we like to do. But hopefully, hopefully
you ain't said
someone,
fuck them kids yet?
yeah, hopefully motherfuckers will do a positive path, and that's where it comes to someone positive in their life, trying to lead them to the right direction that don't lead them fucking in.
So do you even have to tell them the negativity?
So, but
So I have to do what?
So
Do you
bring
even
it.
have
Let's
to
bring
tell
it.
them the negativity that you went through?
Yes. So bringing it back to that. I think what we kind of started is good and bad role models, things and things like that. So I think everyone's kind of saying is like, I could have done bad things, but changed my lifestyle to do certain things, so that makes me a good role model. So a good role model could be, I'm gonna show you the bad.
Good is
there's
good is
facts.
subje- and
So
good
Walk
is
away,
subjective.
goddammit.
you don't make your own nickname.
So what we was told is that a good role model can't say that they're a good role model, and I agree with that. But I think the jig really is, the question is how do you not even allow, how do you choose on who your role model should be? So, like, if we use the example of everybody in the audience of, like, let's say I made a bunch of bad decisions, but then I made something out of it. Am I allowed to look up to this person? To see that, hey, this person did everything that I shouldn't do, and they can tell me, hey, I did that, and you shouldn't do that, and I'm gonna lead you in this direction.
It sounds good, but it don't work that way.
Sounds
'Cause you
good, but
get
it don't work
15
that way.
motherfuckers telling a little nigga the same thing.
It depends on the
gonna choose
vessel
it.
who it's coming from.
They
though.
gonna choose their own route.
It depends on who the vessel is. If name Tukey Williams, the biggest Crip in the world,
Oh,
who started the
wow.
whole shit,
But the
came
original?
back and was like, "Yo,
And this nigga's a role model.
I did all the yes," because
no,
he's like,
he's talking about gang shit.
"Oh, well, I'm just saying."
Not you, my brother. Him.
She
Go
my
ahead.
brother.
I don't like the way you said
Go
that.
ahead. Go ahead. Go
KP
ahead.
got offended. Or, hey, real quick, while we're talking about role models, I want to shout out one of the best moms I know, and their daughter goes to Howard University. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we are going to Howard's homecoming because of one of the best moms in the world that I know.
Jamel,
I'ma leave it at
Jamel,
Nigga, my
she
daughter
don't
go
want
to a
you to come.
HBCU too, nigga.
They don't want y'all to come. No,
I know she doesn't.
Pause.
the hell.
Wait a minute.
Get that nigga. Yeah,
Anyway,
his turn. His turn, nigga. Fuck that.
Hey, are we all like going off the assumption when we talking about role models that we talking about kids? Can you not have a role model as an adult?
Ooh, good question.
Can you not want to emulate somebody as an adult?
Can you
Fuck that nigga.
can you emulate somebody of the opposite sex?
And that's kind of where I wanted to get
Yeah, I
into.
don't
So we'll do a little bit of both. So growing up, Jamel has basically said it out loud. I want my son to be me. But what if he chose to do nothing like you and want to be like his mom?
That's look. If that
you
nigga turns out to be
backtrack,
his
nigga.
mom, I would be ecstatic. If my sons,
I would be grateful.
if my sons grew up to be just like
Don't
their
be in my
moms, I
bullshit.
would be ecstatic.
Please
more
let them.
more so, and I don't know how this is going to be received on this stage or at home. My brother-in-law is gay, and we had the gay episode.
Mm-hmm.
If my sons turned out to be like my brother-in-law, I would be ecstatic.
He's cool as shit.
As long as he's not white.
As long as
As
he
long as
ain't
he's not
white.
white.
What the fuck?
Here we go.
My nigga could be gay, but he can't
Okay,
be
we
white.
white.
Absolutely.
Make it make sense.
So we
nigga.
joking and shit like that, but like
Don't
before
make
Drake,
sense.
before we switch to male and female
But I
and
get
things
you.
like that.
Aight, my
Well,
nigga.
hold up. You pushing your
Wait. Cutter.
No, don't come back over here, nigga. I said what I said, nigga. You gay or you white, nigga? He cool with one.
You can't be gay and white.
Wait, they're gay white motherfuckers.
Wait,
We know that,
so-
but
so-
I'm just saying.
so
Why?
wait,
why
so-
my nigga
so-
can't
so
be
if he-
white and be a role model?
Yeah, that's kind of where I want to get to.
Where the fuck
Jamel,
is
what's
Bill
wrong
Gates?
with
The
looking up to
motherfucker's
someone
white,
of
nigga.
the opposite race? If they doing something dope, who cares?
White supremacy.
All right.
Okay, but
So,
okay,
Jamel,
but
if
that's
it-
your household. But do you want your son being one to be someone that's a woman outside of your household?
Absolutely. My
You
mom
sound crazy.
My mom,
Man, nobody's
Kamala
talking about your
Harris,
family, my nigga. We're talking
Kamala-
about
dog,
outside of your household.
There are hundreds of thousands of great women, black women,
I
who I
get
would
it.
love my son to emulate.
Okay, but who are you teaching your son about that black woman?
Absolutely, yeah.
I
Every
think we are
fucking
getting
day.
off
Are you kidding me?
topic.
Black
I
women
think
are
we should
God's
reel
gift
it
to
back
earth.
in.
What are you
I'm not
saying
talking
to
I
me
think
about
some
your,
people should shut
your
the fuck up.
household. What the
Thank
fuck are
you.
doing?
Yeah, before we get into all this extra whatever. I personally feel, and this is just me, and I don't have kids, so y'all might have a problem with that piece, but I feel
No one
like
cares.
if my imaginary child looked up to a person who's dope, I don't care if they're white, black, woman, male, it don't matter. If you're looking up to somebody who has the right foot going forward, then why should I care if it's not the plan that I had? But shit, you might become a billionaire, and I didn't because you followed a path that was a little different than I had. No?
There we go with that good thing being subjective too.
All right. Go ahead.
I think it's all encompassing. So Kim Mulkey, right? LSU women's basketball coach. White lady. I admire that woman to the head.
Yep.
Like, she knows strategy. She knows how to position. She knows her shit.
And you are not white, I'm assuming. All right.
So
Yeah. So the example,
Hiring her as a white woman.
right? You were right, what she did. So the example that she gave is she gave an example of an opposite race that she looked up to, and this lady have accolades beyond. And it's what's wrong with looking up to this person just because they don't look like me? I'm not allowed to look up to this person.
I think Jamel's saying that's fine. You just can't you can't wear the crazy jersey outfits that she be wearing.
What I'm saying, and,
Or go to
you
their
know,
house.
No, and honestly, to the point, and I
Can't go to Becky's house.
honestly, to the point is, yes, Kim Mulkey. The example was given was Kim Mulkey, head coach of LSU basketball. Fantastic woman, knows basketball, knows what she's talking about. But guess what? Don Staley is out there too.
Yes, but you
Why
can't
can't it
do
be
the
both?
same too. So you're trying to tell me
Had to bring it back.
I don't want to talk about race like that because I think it shouldn't be.
So
Who's
there,
getting more money?
so there can't be multiple
Dawn?
role models.
I got you.
Oh, so there can't be multiple role models.
Yeah.
Your kid can't want
long
to
as they
emulate
black.
both of them.
Long
Say
as
what?
they black.
Your kid can't
Man,
wanna
get the
emulate
fuck
both of
outta
them.
here.
Okay. I'm being
Okay, so
somewhat facetious.
Are your kids going to play sports? They're going to run around a white coach. And how are you going to react to that?
I can fight.
That ain't-
All right,
No,
cool.
cut
All
her,
right, no,
cut
let's
her.
shut it down. Let's
Cutter,
shut
they're
it
playing
down.
for you.
Hold up.
You could fight and he's going
Cut
to
it,
be.
cut it. Hold on.
No,
Let's
he's
shut
not
it
on the
down.
team.
They playing
Let's
for you,
move
Cutter.
That
on.
little-
Let's move on to
Thank you, moderator.
mom and dad. Can your women and men? Can your son look up to a man? Can your daughter look up to a man? Can your I said it wrong. Can your son look up to a woman?
Yes.
And so,
$1,000,000%.
in that regards, go ahead. Let me before I get in.
First interaction with the opposite sex is with their father.
There you go.
So if I want to know what a good man looks like, I'm going to look to my father 1st.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not, then it's the anti-role model, what I don't want in a man when I get married.
There you go. So what she was saying, our audience member was saying, is if I look up to, as a woman, if I look up to a man, it could be a good or a bad thing. I can look at my dad, that's not what I want in a man, or I can look at my dad as that's what I want in a man. That's what I'm regarding from that. So my question is like across the board, y'all all have, well, Jamel don't, he only got sons. But y'all got girls and boys. If your son came home and was like, Dad, I saw this woman and she's doing all these cool things, I want to be a part of it.
Who?
Any woman. Dawn Staley, I think, is an example that came up. Dawn
thought
Staley
you
is
said
a
a
dope
Barbie,
coach.
nigga.
No, I got it. Breonna Stewart.
Who?
Breonna Stewart. Lil E come home and was like, yo, Breonna Stewart out here.
WNBA
killing
player.
them. I want to be like Breonna Stewart. What are you going to say?
You really want my answer?
I want your answer.
Why are you watching her, nigga? Why are we watching nobody else?
Because she's
but
white.
she's with her. In my eyes, she's watching it. He's watching it because of his sisters. But I don't know how I could feel about my son. Really, no, nigga, no, nigga.
Go ahead
No,
and say
nigga,
it.
because he's not about to be a queer.
Oh, shit.
I'm not gonna say that's gonna happen, but if you think about it, my son come home and like, you know who I like? I'm like, yeah, who? If he like her or
Like her.
that's my role model.
So as that's somebody he
My
looks up
son
to,
come home
are you
talking
going
about
to
he
talk
want
to
to be
him
like
about
Lotto, nigga. We gotta go in the backyard, nigga.
it? So are you going to talk to him about it or shut it down?
No, I'm not gonna knock him like Jamel said earlier. I'm not knocking him if that's what you do, but I'm not influencing anything to make you feel that that's what you have to do. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But I'm not.
We're gonna go
influencing.
around up here and then come back to you.
Oh, I said this then.
Go. So the
don't
question
give a
is,
fuck.
and for me and my household, do I care if my sons emulate or come home and say, hey, I wanna grow up to be like Breonna Stewart? Mm-hmm. I'd be like, hey, Asia Wilson be balling. Check her out.
Yeah, I
And
don't
that's
know.
a girl and this is a boy. That is two different fucking things. And I coach
They're
girls.
playing the sport,
no,
though.
it doesn't. A girl might be smarter on the court, but the nigga is dumb.
I don't.
I'm just being
I don't know what
100.
I don't know where
Unless you really
So-
you laughing, but okay.
No, I don't know where you're going with that. I don't know where you're going with that.
Run that back. Say it one more time. If my son came
If
home
my
and
son
said,
came home and was like, Dad, Breonna Stewart is balling. I want to grow up to be just like her. I'd be like, that's cool, but guess what? Asia Wilson is out here. Chelsea Gray is out here.
So it's a race thing for you.
Absolutely.
so as a role model, do you think you should be
But my
pushing?
shit ain't cool. That's what.
I mean, in my
So the question
the question
was-
is, would I bring up any guys in my headspace if we're talking about just what we watch and we watch
Women?
WNBA, we watch everybody, right? And he was just like, "Yo, she's balling." I'd be like, "Yeah, she is balling," but guess what? Over here, somebody in the same thing that we're watching is doing the exact same thing, but guess what? She looks just like you do.
So let me ask you this: why do you deter their decision on what they like in life just so it can match what you want?
That's fair. That's a fair question.
No, I don't get.
But you can't
I-
teach
hold
them
on,
what
I-
you
I
want
don't- I
them
don't-
to be.
I don't get how we are talking about role model and we're looking at athletes and athletic performance and domination of the dominating the competition, and we fucking equate that. Oh, nigga, you want to be gay? Like I don't see how we're fucking jumping
Has nothing to
6-7
do with
steps to their gender identity or their sexual
Sexual
preference.
preference.
They could just like, yo, Simone Biles got 11,000 gold fucking medals. She dominates the shit. I want to have her work ethic. I like how she dominates the shit. I like her killer fucking instinct. If they can do it for, like, if my daughter said, I want to grow up to and be like Michael Jordan, I'm not going to say, oh, why not Candace Parker? Oh, no, be fucking Jordan. And I don't think anybody else would say, like, oh, if my daughter wants to emulate a man, we're going to shut that down. We're going to say, go look
That's
at that
fair.
WNBA player. I don't see where's the fucking difference?
Go ahead.
I agree with the race part, right? But I do believe, like, if I believe in the gender identity. So if my son says he wants to be something, I'm going to show something that looks like him, that he can identify with, and you go after that.
I got you. I got you.
Girl or boy, like, if it's a girl, don't be Michael Jordan, be Cheryl Smooth.
So what I'm
There
hearing
was a
from
lot
the
of clout
audience
going
once
on in
again,
that-
what
in
I'm
that
hearing
conversation over there.
one more time, what I'm hearing from the audience is what he is saying is if my son came to me and said, I like Candace Parker, he would say, okay, that's dope, but Michael Jordan is over here. Let me show you somebody that looks exactly like you that you can emulate instead of that route.
How do you know who you want to be? But why are you watching just women? So you've already been through something, or something has triggered you to just want to be a woman. I'm not knocking anything.
We got one more.
I think that's an
But no.
No, I think
Wait,
that was
everybody, wait. We got one more. We got one more. Hold up, Cutter.
Do you get a lot of men little boys that grow up around male?
Well,
gay
no, hold up, Cutter. You going through
Do
something.
you?
You
No,
about to
you're
go down a
not.
different route. Hold up, Cutter. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't.
Jerry tapped on it a little bit, but on the reverse, it's little girls that look at guys all the time.
All the time.
all the time. My nieces love KD.
But I think we're like Dre said, why does it gotta be that they want to be a girl? Maybe in the child's mind, they're like, I want to be successful like that person, or I want to do what that person is doing. I wouldn't equate that to
Yeah. My niece.
So hold up. Break down what he said first.
doing that too. But I wouldn't just assume if my son was watching something and seen a girl balling out, he's like, I want to do that. He's not saying I want to be a girl.
He's saying, I want to
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So
But
Right.
But,
I think we're equating like if they watch RuPaul, I want to be fucking RuPaul.
but
It's
y'all
not
not
the
getting
same.
it.
Hold on.
one time, everybody can't talk
How
at
many
once.
boys, little boys, do you see growing up around male?
Let's
people
recap
like
what
that?
was said in the audience. Let's recap.
No,
what was,
I'm just saying, it's
let's-
everybody's a girl that's.
I know,
Let's recap what was said in the audience so everybody understands what we're talking about. The conversation is it's one-sided almost, right? It goes one direction. Whenever we hear a young lady say, "Hey, I want to be like Michael Jordan," it's okay. But if you hear a young boy that says, "I want to be like Cheryl Swoops," it's frowned upon.
She was cold, man. She was cold. But that's how it comes
Sports
off.
fans do.
So what we were
Sports
saying in the
fans do.
audience is they were saying that's not what they were saying. But some of the comments that are being made is that if my son comes in saying, I like Candace Parker, I like Cheryl Swoops, things like that, the first thing that I've heard, and I'm not putting this on nobody, the thing that I heard was if my son said, I like this woman, they would give them an option of a man instead of looking at the woman. And vice versa.
Say that again.
That's a separate episode.
Not in an NBA.
That's a separate episode.
It's like, nah.
And this is to anybody. How often has anybody heard, or did you as yourself come home and say, I like Michael Jordan. I want to be just like him.
Right.
Kids don't say that shit.
At all.
So now we're having a conversation based off of like a kid actually coming to you and saying these
have it in the back of his
Yeah.
head. Same thing for the white people. Your kids know how you feel about that shit. They're not gonna be. I like Hunter Renfro because they already know how the fuck you feel about it.
Or
So
it's
like y'all responding to conversations that are not likely to happen.
well,
Wait,
well, no, let me get this. Hold on, let me get
let's
this.
say for the
There's
audience.
a couple things.
Let's say for the audience so people know what they're saying. What it was said. What was said was that these are imagined conversations because in real life nobody's gonna come home and say, or no child realistically is gonna come home and say, I'm gonna be just like Michael Jordan. True.
No, we're putting words.
Niggas wanna be
we're-
Steph Curry. We're not
putting
going
words.
Michael
We're
Jordan.
putting words in these kids' mouth. They don't have to come out and say like, I want to be that person. But when they come home and say, I want a Hunter Renfro jersey, that's them saying that. Or if you're watching highlights, or if you see they glued to the TV on a certain person's highlight, or when a certain team comes on, that's what we're saying. That's how they're gonna get it across.
Okay, but
But we're called.
where is
hold,
he
Cutter.
watch? No, nigga.
I wasn't
Where is
finished
he
my- I
watching
wasn't
the
finished with my point.
WNBA?
I wasn't finished with my point.
I understand my household, but if you just have a son and he just comes home and says that, you might have not a problem. No, I'm not. If you don't know nothing else, now if we watching it, but if he just comes out the blue and never talked about sports and he says that, yes, nigga, what the fuck's going on?
So my second point
Nigga, I don't give a
is,
fuck, nigga.
oh, my second point.
Well, let me know.
Anyway, hey, my second point is we're talking about the imaginary conversations. We're also getting to that point we talked about earlier. We're getting into parenting as opposed to role models, right?
Facts.
So we're dipping into the point where your kid comes and says they want someone's jersey. They talk about who their role model is. We're getting to the point of the questions we're going to ask and how we're going to parent based on that decision. We're getting away from just the question. Is Sha'Carri Richardson a good role model? You're going to, if it's a boy, nah, but it's a girl, yeah, nah, fuck. Her work ethic, how she overcame challenges, boy or girl, I think that's a good role model. So if my son or daughter says, yo, I saw all the shit that was thrown her way, she's a gold fucking medalist, fast woman in the world, I like that. I'm like, shit, nigga, I like it too. That's all I got.
That don't even make her.
Let's bring it. Hold on, wait. Let's bring it all in. We done been all over the place, bouncing all around. We done went from race to gender and things like that. The main goal is role models. So I want everybody to wrap it up. I want you to give me your final statements. Cutter, Dre, Jamel. We've been talking about, is my child allowed to look up to someone of the opposite race? We've talked about opposite sex. We've talked about looking up to somebody who's made good decisions and bad decisions, and what kind of decisions does that make for the child? I want you to put all that together, and let's talk about how you genuinely feel about your child having a role model of a broad world that we live in. Is it okay if you allow this kid just to do?
Not clear, not white.
I'm gonna start with, go ahead, Dre.
Oh, me?
Yes, on you, my guy.
Oh shit. Ultimately, as a parent, right? I want my kid to have a long life, a successful life, a lucrative life, and to be as stress-free as possible.
Gotcha.
So, any people in the world that they can emulate behavior to get them to that point, I'm okay. Flaws and all, because it's going to be a roller coaster anyway. So as long as hopefully they can see the good and the bad and know they ultimately want to end up on the good, I'm cool with it. That's what I want them to follow.
Cutter, go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
mean,
Speak
I
your
don't-
truth, man.
Nah, shit. I can't pick my kid's role model.
Okay.
So point blank period, what I want, it really doesn't matter. My kid's gonna see me, my kid's gonna see someone else. They're gonna determine who they wanna come out to be.
Okay.
And I get when we said, you're gonna tell them the negative, you're gonna tell them the positive.
Outside of your son, I want you to, you influence a lot of little girls, you influence a lot of people. So outside of just your son, what do you feel about role models? I want you to think about that. Jamel, go ahead.
I agree with Dre. In me being the racist person that I am, whoever my children look up to is whoever my children look up to, especially if they are a good person. They take care of their responsibilities. They take care of home, whether it be red, black, yellow, white, gay, Jewish, Islamic, or I'm sorry, Arab, or yeah, Islamic, indifferent. I don't, not that I don't care, but if that person makes you a better person, go for it. Is it gonna hurt my feelings if they're not black? Of course.
Cutter, go ahead, man.
Why this nigga hate white?
White
Outside of that,
supremacy.
outside of
Like,
that.
I say this every episode.
Outside
white
of
supremacy.
Outside of that, Cutter, what I just asked you, outside of just your son, you have daughters, you have daughters' friends, you have a whole girls' basketball team.
I don't think Cutter
They
knows he's a role
all
model.
influence.
Nah, but see, I'm. Oh.
Yeah, you
I
are.
pick-
Of
but I
all of us-
pick and
Whoa,
choose.
no.
I was gonna say,
I
real
want to
quick,
hear
of all
Cutter's
of us
final
on the
thought.
stage right now, he might be this biggest role model.
Yeah, nigga. Yes.
Hey, call it what you want.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't get a choice.
you don't get to
That choice.
choose.
I don't know if I am, but I'm not.
It's not
looking,
about you
okay,
knowing.
but I'm not looking to be that.
That's okay.
I'm looking
Too
to
bad.
just go to practice, teach these young ladies something different. Like, you might have a kid that doesn't have a dad there, so I'm not trying to be your dad. Believe me, nigga. Okay, and if that means me yelling at you at practice sometimes, and you looking me upside my head, I'll take it. But I'm not looking to be your role model. I'm trying to teach you something different. I didn't have someone in my life just beating it down to me. You might not have a parent beating it down in you, but you got your coach. And I don't care. I'm giving everybody the encouragement. I'm not just looking at one kid like, I might tell one kid like, just go bust their ass. But
Yeah, you don't want to be one, but you are one.
I'm not
guess
trying
what?
to be that.
Yeah, I know you're not.
I'm really not
I
because
know.
I didn't have a role model.
Surprise, nigga.
I know you're not. Hey, Cutter. Hey, Cutter, I know you know this. You're doing a lot of positive shit, my guy.
Oh, and I know because I coach girls and that shit
Yeah.
is different and it's very hard.
So to wrap this up, I got you, Cutter.
Pause.
I got you, Cutter, man. I think the realization that man just had right now just kind of talked about what we've been talking about.
Did we just
You
have a
don't
breakthrough?
know who you are to someone. I'm not gonna say a kid, some adult, teenager, whatever it may be. You might be something very influential into a person's lifestyle. And if we're going across the board, I'll say mine's last because I'm not a parent, and I think that's the direction everybody was going.
You don't know that you're not a parent, though.
I got you. But
Let that nigga coach.
Hold up, we're gonna break it down. So from going across the board, from what I heard is we all want our children, all the people around us to look up to somebody in a positive way, whether it be white, black, male, female, it doesn't matter. If you can find positives in this person who are teaching these people on how to be someone in life, I think we can all agree that's what we all want. Everybody say yes? Yes.
You.
And then going back to we all trying to jump on Cutter. We don't know that we are role models. So all you can do is put your best foot forward and just be and try and hope that someone can pick up your positives and not your negatives because we've all done some dumb shit in our life. But we've all hopefully grown from those and be able to teach. If I'm that dude from the streets, things like that, from a poor neighborhood, I can say, hey, I came from that area too, but look what I did. You know what I mean? And so we all have ways to do it. So everybody got a drink. Let's wrap this up.
I got this red shit.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm not even gonna look at you guys, my niggas.
Hey,
So-
I'm gonna cheers this role model ass
The
nigga.
goal of the whole shit is positivity. We want our children, our peers, and everybody to look up to something dope, something great, regardless on where they're looking or where it's coming from. As long as it's making them become more than what they are now, we dope. As we always say, we all washed, but we in this together. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Fuck them kids.
Hey, shout out to KPB and Nigga Damas over here and shit.
I'm gonna go see some tomorrow. Probably.
Yeah,
Hey,
fuck them kids. I got a game tomorrow though.
Who you telling? And they're like, shit. Can I yell at this little motherfucker right now? No, you really. Hey, y'all need to do it, dude. Yeah, like y'all, both of y'all.
got more
Yeah,
patience
no.
than I do, man.
You say that now.
Say what?
What I said,
You said fuck no.
Justin, but he said
Go
who?
ahead.
Justin? I'm not tripping.
Where'd Jamel go?
but I'm talking about Justin Bieber. This is when he was in his prime.
I'm not tripping.
Oh,
He heard a
this is
song?
This is Swoop Beaver?
Say that to Jamel. You need to say that
Hold
to
on.
Jamel.
Now, if he would have came and said Hannah Montana, what the fuck you would have said? I know, motherfucker.
But why does he want to be Hannah Montana?
That's what I'm saying. That's where I was getting at. Where did you get this type of shit that you want to be like? You ain't heard Hannah Montana. I heard Hannah Montana from Kid Ink. What's the Scammy's name, nigga? My bad. Whatever the Scammy.
Hey, you don't know what they be watching on
See,
that
I heard the
YouTube.
rap version and it was, you know what I'm saying? Okay, but it's the same girl. Yes. So he came home saying that, you'd have been like, her son?